Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your personal generative AI podcast. Today, we're diving into a fascinating blog post about something many of us experience but rarely talk about openly: burnout. It's titled, "I Quit, the Tsunami of Burnout Fusi," and it's a real eye-opener. It's a bit intense, so buckle up.
Ooh, intense sounds fun. So what's the main gist? Is it just another article about the perils of overworking? Because honestly, I'm so tired of hearing about that.
It's more than that, it goes deeper. The author argues that we're not just dealing with individual burnout, but a systemic problem. We're all caught up in this narrative, this happy story in the village of happy people, where everything's supposedly great, even when it's clearly not.
A happy story in the village of happy people? Sounds like a children's book gone wrong. So what's wrong with this happy story?
Exactly. The author says this narrative masks the real issues. We focus on superficial metrics like GDP growth and corporate profits, ignoring the actual human cost. People quietly quitting their jobs because they're completely burned out. They're not even giving notice. They just disappear.
Whoa, that's scary. So they're not even bothering to formally resign? That says something, right? It's like a silent protest.
Precisely. And what's even more concerning is that burnout itself isn't well understood. The author points out how it wasn't even formally recognized when he first experienced it in the 80s. It's a complex issue, encompassing many different experiences.
I see. So it's not just about long hours? It's the whole pressure cooker environment, the constant need to perform that ultimately breaks people.
Exactly. The author talks about how we're trained to believe we can just do it, that superhuman effort is expected and even admirable. But the end game of that is just collapse. He's experienced burnout twice himself, and he's not alone. He mentions several instances in his daily life of people just suddenly quitting.
Oh, that's a bit depressing. Is there any hope? Any solutions offered?
The author's main point is that the problem isn't just individual weakness. It's a systemic issue. The current system, he argues, is designed to keep people working until they break. And the fixes offered are mostly superficial, like medication to treat the symptoms, not the underlying causes.
So essentially, the system is designed to exploit people until they can't take it anymore. Then it's just next. That's pretty cynical, but sadly believable.
Yeah, it is pretty cynical. But the author also highlights that this isn't just a modern problem. Wages, adjusted for inflation, were much higher in the 70s and 80s. This points towards a long-term decline in the purchasing power of labor. He even uses his own Social Security records as evidence.
Wow, that's a powerful statement. Using personal data like that really drives home the point. It's not just some abstract economic theory, it's real life impacting real people.
Exactly. The author ends by pointing out the irony. The system is designed to keep everyone glued together to do the work. But it's that very system that's breaking people. The quiet quitting. The sudden departures. It's a tsunami of burnout on the horizon, and it's being ignored.
A tsunami of burnout. That's a powerful image. It really makes you think. Thanks for bringing this to our attention.
You're welcome. And remember, listeners, if you're feeling burned out, you're not alone. It's a serious issue, and it deserves to be addressed. Thanks for listening to Tech Bytes and News, and have a great day. Bye!
Bye-bye.